Then it's 2 p.m. Second Life time, and we will start with our Saturday themed session. New, we are back with the Saturday sessions, but new is that we have our interviews about topics I don't know anything about. So we have a guest speaker, and we are going to talk about the tarot today. And we have with us Greace Coakes. Welcome, Greace. How are you?
I'm doing well, Elijah. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you so much. Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself some more?
Well, I just play Dungeons and Dragons over Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm also a DJ here in Second Life, although I don't DJ spiritual music. And Tentari, to put her in the spotlight a little bit, made me into a better DJ. And I also am a writer, and like writing and tarot kind of go hand in hand. Because when you write a story, you want to go ABC with the plot. And then you kind of have to use word skills and logic to connect the cards together to tell a story about what's going on in your life, about what the cards are saying about you. Because I'm not sending the message, I'm just reading the message of the cards. I don't control the cards. They have a mind of their own. Kind of like reading the message of the universe for whoever is asking.
Correct. That's so awesome. And for those that are listening in, we are here not only with Greece, but we are here with some other people as well. Like Greece already mentioned, Tantari, who has helped Greece DJing in Second Life. And we have other folks here as well. Welcome to you all, Rimael. And I'm going to call all those difficult names. Kayla, Yonkrill, Jerry, Witch Whisper. Good to have you all here. And we have some people over at Discord as well. Peace and Cherry and LVGW, and Greece is there, of course, as well. We're running this twice. Awesome. I want to just start off by the short meditation. I always do that in these group sessions just to get calm and in the good atmosphere, the same frequency. So if you just want to get comfortable, close your eyes. It's only a few minutes. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale and relax. Another nice deep inhale. And exhale and relax. Now put your focus on your heart. You can help by putting 2 fingers or your hand on your chest where your heart is. And imagine that you are breathing through your heart. Breathing in through your heart. And out through your heart. In through your heart. And out through your heart. Just do this a couple of more times, breathing through your heart nice and slow, nice and calm. Just notice how that feels. And open your eyes and breathe normally. Very good. Great. Okay, Greece, let's talk about the tarot, okay? What is the history behind the tarot card readings? Where did the tarot cards come from? And is there a specific time when people start using tarot cards for divination? Because I know it was a game before. Is that correct?
That's right. So the tarot, first known as Charanvi and later as Tarachi or Tarak, is a pack of playing cards used from the mid 15th century in various parts of Europe to play games such as Italian Tarocchini, French Tarot, and Austrian Kogigrufen, many of which are still played today in the late 18th century. Some tarot decks began to be used for divination via tarot card reading and cartomancy, leading to custom decks developed for such occult purposes. So the tarot is several hundred years old, but I think most people are familiar with the RWS deck that most people see or most people use for tarot, and maybe querents probably see this deck used by tarot readers. I kind of use something that's similar to RWS, but it's a little off since it involves dragons.
And RWS stands for?
Rider-Waite-Smith, which is kind of the blueprint for modern tarot. I think it came out the turn of the 20th century.
So what made you become interested in reading tarot cards?
See, my brother's wife is a nice lady. She gifted me a deck with like years and years ago, and I finally got around to it by studying a beginner's book called Tarot for Beginners by Lisa Chamberlain. And I practice and practice and practice a lot to learn the meanings of the cards. And for anyone who's interested in tarot, that's the best advice I can give you is grab a beginner's book and a deck that speaks out to you, and then just like practice until you get confident enough to read for others, or at least, the very least, read for yourself.
So you talked about different decks, but are these only the pictures that are different, or does the deck have a completely different purpose as well?
I think for the most part, I only know about like RWS style tarot and Maricel tarot, which is a little bit different. There's supposed to be other types too, like Lemonade or what's the other one? Thoth tarot. But just to make things easy for myself, I only stick with like RWS style decks. And then the Maricel deck I have is just a little bit different that I can still read for people.
So what kind of questions do people ask? I mean, you're not a fortune teller, isn't it? You're like describing a current situation. Is that it, maybe?
You could say that, and a lot of people who come to me ask about like romance or finding the right girl or the right guy, whatever your fancy. Mm-hmm. Or maybe asking about finances, or I can't seem to get out of this situation. What do the cards say for me, and so on, such and such.
Do you think like are people using it correctly? Are they asking like the right question? Do they come with the right expectations, or are there some people coming in there to you and are like totally dependent on the outcome of what you read to them? Like it's all or nothing for them.
I think one of my clients is like that, and I'm not going to say her name to protect her privacy, where she likes tarot readings from me all the time, where she was addicted to tarot. Like, I'm not going to say her name, but she doesn't seem to have the ability to think for herself. So like, if anybody stops and thinks for like a few minutes, they can find the way out of outcome. So I think tarot is good to like maybe read it like every week or every 2 weeks, something like that, but not like every day. And I think people might be misled by the card, I guess. So you should still have common sense for yourself and to like think through situations. And tarot, I don't think would solve all your problems. You still have to use your head for that.
Yeah, I also met people that are like, everything that happens in their life, they want to know the reason behind it, and they go to you and then ask, oh, what does the card say? What does the card say? Or you have a question, you're not sure what to choose, which way to go, and they go straight ahead to you and then just say, what does the card say? What does the card say? And they totally let their lives be led by the cards, maybe. And that's what you say, I guess, when you say about they're getting addicted to it.
Yeah, and I think they lose the ability to like think for themselves.
Yeah.
But I think most people, for the most part, would take a reading from me or any other reader and say, okay, this is good advice. Or if it's rare that I run into like an ignorant person who says, oh no, these cards aren't me at all. I remember in real life I ran into this woman and all the card came up reverses. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh no, that's not me. That's not me. Like, so I just stopped the reading like in the middle of it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. If
Yeah.
you're not going to listen to me, I'm not going to read for you.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about in a meditation group, transformational meditation, we talk about manifestation and so on. And I often get the question, but what do you think about the tarot? I mean, if I ask a question at the tarot, and I'm not that familiar with the tarot, and I was always saying, well, use it as a barometer. Like, if you are in the state of being you are in now, and I have a certain question, the cards will tell me what I will attract, for example, or what will happen when I'm in that state of being I am now. And I think that I always said that if you change your state of being and want to attract other things in your life, manifest other things in your life, I would say that if you go and take another card reading, let's say a month later, that you can kind of test if you have changed, because the cards would say something different. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think if you follow the advice of what the cards say, like, I don't know, for example, like if there was a reverse to death card, that means you should stop smoking, but you're not doing it. But if you turn things around and stop smoking, because I used to be a former smoker, but to get to the point, if you turn a death card around and stop smoking, then you start being in better shape and saving money, that sort of thing. So a month later, the death card could be upright, even if it was reversed the previous month, because you're improving upon yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean as well. Looking at the questions and the comments here, Rimmel says, yeah, tarot is a momentum of energy and thinking, right? Yeah, it has all to do with energy, don't you? So, won't you say, Greece? Everything is energy. Energy uh, connects to each other, interferes with each other.
Oh, most definitely, because, like, for an example, the Hierophant card, it came up reversed for someone I just read recently, and I'm not going to say his name to protect his privacy, but I read it as the meaning of the card, it leads to God. And it came up reversed for him because I was thinking to myself, well, maybe the God or divine source has a message for him, but he's not paying attention. And I told him that, but I didn't like really push the message at him. I didn't want to make him angry. I just left him the message and that was it. So I think the cards definitely manifest the energy of the person I'm reading for. Or if I'm reading for myself, me.
How do you, because do you prepare for those readings as well? Do you make sure you have, for example, a neutral energy, a balanced energy, before you do a reading for someone?
Well, for example, when I was reading for this person earlier today, I went ahead and shuffled the cards and kind of like concentrated it on this person. And then when I felt the time was right, I stopped shuffling and concentrated on the first card I see. And it happened to be a reversed King of Wands, which in tarot means reversed fire sign, which happens to be a male, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So part of the problem was with him, and it was I kept on drawing cards. One of the other cards was reversed Four of Cups. So there's an option he was ignoring, which is kind of what the meaning of the Four of Cups means, is kind of like you're looking for a way or option to fix the situation, but there's something you haven't thought of yet. So you kind of have to put all the cards together when like a Celtic cross reading to get hold the whole picture. Like one card isn't going to tell the entire story.
Hmm. Yeah, because you have those patterns you lay out, isn't it? Do they have different meanings as well? Do you get more information the more cards you lay out? A bit like you said.
Definitely, like if it's just a 3 card reading, it's just going to be like, say, the past, present, and future.
So one card is the past, one card is the present, one card is the future.
Pretty much, yes. And then like Celtic Cross is going to be a lot more in depth.
Hmm. So what do you think? Has anybody else question here in the audience? I will go to the chat. Just speak up if you want to ask something or type it in the chat.
Rem, yeah, I would think if you change your attitudes. Oh, sorry, I was distracted by an IM. If you change your attitudes and consciousness and kind of take the advice of the cards, like a month later, I would think the cards would be different.
It's such a great idea. So now I'm thinking about we need more tarot in our manifestation work. Greace, what do you want to do? Do you want to read some cards to us? Do you want to pick somebody out? Or does anybody here wants to sort of virtually raise their hands? Let me see someone on Discord maybe. Just type in the meditation chat if you want something. Kayla has a question. Go ahead, Kayla. You can either use your mic or type. I can't hear you at least, so I think you're typing. She's asking, how does tarot differ from, say, Moonology or angel cards?
I'm not sure what Moonology is or angel cards. Are angel cards like, oh, I'm trying to think of the word for it. I know it's not tarot, but it's something different. And it's another kind of divination. Oracle, that's what I'm thinking of. Tarot cards is more like the bigger brother of Oracle cards. And I guess Oracle is like kind of like the little brother. I don't use Oracle cards. I only use tarot cards.
Is that what you're thinking about Witch Whisper? About Moonology? Or is this the same as Oracle cards? Oracle is a more modern development, Witch Whisper says. Moonology follows the phase of the moon. Yeah. So would that mean like, would you say first there was like tarot and then are those like spin-offs of tarot or are they separate systems?
I think it's both. It's kind of like a separate system, and it's kind of like a spin-off from tarot. It's, I guess, kind of like, I don't know. I guess the right way to say it is kind of like a kid's meal from, I don't know, a fast food place or a kid's menu at like a restaurant. But when you grow up, you kind of want to develop into tarot and get more like an adult meal. I don't know, like that's the first thing that came to my head when I'm trying to describe Oracle cards. And you can manifest a lot more in tarot than I think Oracle cards. Because I kind of have an idea of what Oracle cards is about.
Okay. Witch Whisper disagree. Witch Whisper, I want to know more about those Oracle cards. Maybe we should do that in next session. John Creel says that tarot has been around for a long time. Yes, it's old, isn't it? Like Reese explained in the start as well. It's beautiful though, and what I find the most beautiful is all those different card types, those decks. For those that are listening to the recording, you can't see them, but Grease is showing some amazing decks here. Can you tell me something about those cards you have up here?
So, like the ones I just posted, because I think I explained the Star, the World, the Hermit, and the Death card. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's also the Fool.
That would be me.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, the Fool might sound like a negative card, but it's actually a positive card if it's upright.
Ah.
Me, like if you go to like Atlantic City or like on a new journey to, let's say if you visit like a new country, then that would be the Fool card because you're going on a new adventure. Also, if you were to do like a reversal, then that would be foolish.
So if it's a reversed card, it's foolish. And it's something new happening, a new adventure happening when it's in the right direction.
And let's just say, for example, that the Fool card came up reversed for Elijah. That means he'd have to be very careful of decisions for himself in the near future or present.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might go to, say, Atlantic City or Las Vegas and say, well, I'm just going to blow all my money because I think I might become a millionaire if I do that. But if the fool came up reversed, says, no, don't do that. You're going to lose all your money. Just as an example. So you also have to pay attention to if it's a card upright or is it come up reversed to you. And a neat trick I like to do is if the card came up reversed, it means it's facing you as an enemy because the card is facing you. But if it was upright, that means it's facing me on your side of the table, so it's one of your allies. That's just something I like, a little fun thing I like to do in tarot.
It's indeed great fun. I think this is so interesting. What do you like to do, Greece? Just so we get a little demonstration of what you're doing.
I'm trying to. I think why don't I go for straight across from me, Snoodle. Kali, do you have a question for me, or does anybody else have a question for me?
Well, she asked her question. She asked about the immediate future. Would that be like the 3 cards you will read, or will you go more in depth straight away?
I think just for today, because Rem also asked a question, I think I'll just go do like 3 card drawings.
Yeah. So can I ask, are things going to change soon? And then I think you're referring to the whole world corona situation.
Is that what you're asking about, Kali, or something different?
And for you personally?
Let's see what the cards say, because someone might have one question for the cards, but the questions answer another card, meaning they're going to tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear. So all I'm doing is shuffling the card for Kali and see what comes up. I'm shuffling Dragon Tarot now because I can easily post links to the cards. Or I could just point to them if one of these cards show up. Well, I'll be damned. The Hierophant came up. I would say so because you were asking, will things change? And the Hierophant means Taurus, like the astrological sign. But it also means like God. Because the word is Greek for high priest. So it's saying, believe in God and things will turn out the better for you. So keep meditating like you always do and kind of like surrender and let go. And things will start to go your way, Kali. My suggestion to you is just wait and relax.
That's a very good advice. That's also what we say during our courses, like surrender to it. And you have to believe it. No doubts. Trust the process. It's nice when those things get together.
And I don't have an Ace of Cups, but I'm going to post this in the main chat.
So that's the next card. Is the Ace of Cups.
Mm-hmm. Ace of Cups with kind of like the dragon in, like, I guess, like an ice area or Arctic Circle. And basically, Ace of Cups means the start of a new relationship, whether through friendship or romance. So that could be happening for Miss Snoodle soon or in her present time. And so far, these cards look good because they're both upright. So I see some good things coming, and Kali gets one more card.
That sounds exciting so far. Are you feeling good about this, Kali?
Thank you.
It does, he says. Perfect. And there's the next one.
2 of coins. So usually coins or pentacles, which is kind of like earth. Oh, and I forgot to mention that cups have to do with like water and romance and emotions, with Ace of Cups as the previous card. Sorry about that, I forgot. But anyway, on to 2 of coins, which has the 2 dragons kind of like balancing each other between the 2 coins up at the top and the bottom of the card. So the suggestion the cards are saying to you is believe in God and you'll find either romance or friendship soon. It's going to be the start of a new romance, and you'll find balance. Usually coins and pentacle cards have to do with money, but two of coins is usually more about balance too. So these cards are very positive for you, Kali.
Wonderful. That doesn't make you worry about Corona anymore, doesn't it? So shall we do Ramel's question as well? Do we have time for that, Greace?
Sure, I don't see why not. He was asking about, what was your question again, Ram?
I was asking if it would be better after 3 weeks going back to business or wait because of health or stress or something like that.
So I'm going to shuffle my Dragon Tarot a second time and see what cards come up for Rem.
This was a question about business. Should I get back to my business, stay at home? And the first card comes up.
As Seven of Cups, with kind of a black dragon in the sky, surrounded by 7 cups. And cups, again, are like emotion and water. So there's like several cups or options you can choose from, Rem. And it's up to you to kind of look at the cups and say, which is the best one for me and my business? So if you take the time to think things through, I'm sure you will pick the right cup. Kind of like that scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where I think the villain picks the wrong cup and ends up dying a horrible death. I don't think you'll die a horrible death, but you should take your time in thinking the cups through and seeing what option is best for you and your business. And you shouldn't just dash ahead and do it quickly. You should take your time and think it through. And the 3 of Cups, and I'm going to post that link in the FSL chat.
So this gives me the opportunity to take what I want. Either go back to work or to stay at home for, say, a little bit more time for recreation.
Well, I'm not going to make the choice for you. That's totally up to you. But the 7 cups are there for you to look through and consider. But the next card is very good, with 3 of Cups meaning a celebration. With the 3 dragons kind of dancing on their own island surrounded by water, and it's another emotion or water card too. So they're kind of having a party and celebrating, and you're kind of doing the same right now, no matter which cup you choose. I don't think any of your cups are going to be poisonous or deadly, but you should be happy and celebrating with your friends, whichever cup you choose.
I think this is a quite opportunity, because if the cards would say, if I choose the wrong one, I will be, let's say, dead or bad or no good anymore, then it would be something else. But this gives me a kind of freedom.
I think so too. Especially with all these cards being upright, it looks very good for you. Including this Page of Swords, where you might run into someone, or like a younger air person who's all about intellect and not letting emotions get in the way of their decision making. So I think the right answer lies in your intellect, or maybe if you're looking for help, ask someone for advice about your business. But I'm looking at these cards, all 3 of them upright, and I'm confident you're going to make the right decision. Just don't run straight ahead into a decision and think, oh, this is the right one. And this is something you should think about.
Does that make sense to you, Ram?
Yeah, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Neat, isn't it? It was such a wonderful session.
Thank you.
We have to close and say goodbye. Thank you so much, Greace, for joining us and for your excellent presentation of the tarot.
You're welcome. I had fun.
We got some new questions as well about oracle cards and maybe angel cards. And maybe we can find someone who wants to tell us more about that the next time we have our gathering with team. And if you are such a person and listening in now, contact me straight away. We want to talk to you. You can do that, Witch Whisperer. About the Oracle cards or the Angel cards? Both. All right. Could we do that in one session? Sure. All right. No, then we already have set for not next week, but in 2 weeks. You see how that's going? We're manifesting the new session already here. Awesome. Again, Greace, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your readings and advice and all the beautiful cards you're showing here. And thank you everybody else for joining and enjoying the session and sitting together with us. I hope to see you back not next week, but in 2 weeks again here. Our next meditation session will be on Monday. Then we do our heart-brain coherence meditation. That would be at 1 p.m. Second Life time, also here at this spot. And Greace is saying, if anyone wants a reading from me in Second Life, he charges $300 Linden dollars for a Celtic cross. So, and that is the same, I guess, though you can pay in Lindens on Discord. Greace is also on Discord on our Transformational Meditation Group server. So contact him if you have questions and want him to do a reading for you.
Oh, sure. I'd be glad to do a reading for anybody.
Rem says maybe in 2 months, and he's going to change, and he wants to test if the changes have worked. Very good. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take good care, and namaste.